Random House Audio presents The Ballad of Ballard and Sandrine by Peter Straub. Read for you by Michael Kramer. 1997.
"So, do we get lunch again today?"
Ballard asked. They had reached the steaming, humid end of November.
"We got fucking lunch yesterday,"
replied the naked woman splayed on the long table. Knees bent, one hip elevated, one boneless-looking arm draped along the curves of her body, which, despite its hidden scars, appeared to be at least a decade younger than her face.
"Why should today be different?"
After an outwardly privileged childhood polluted by parental misconduct, a superior education, and 2 failed marriages, Sandrine Loy had evolved into a rebellious, still exploratory woman of 43. At present, her voice had a well-honed edge, as if she were explaining something to a person of questionable intelligence. 2 days before joining Sandrine on this river journey, Ballard had celebrated his 65th birthday at a dinner in Hong Kong, one of the cities where he conducted his odd business. Sandrine had not been invited to the dinner, and would not have attended if she had. The formal, ceremonious side of Ballard's life, which he found so satisfying, interested her not at all. Without in any way adjusting the facts of the extraordinary body she had put on display, Sandrine lowered her eyes from the ceiling and examined him with a glance brimming with false curiosity and false innocence. The glance also contained a flicker of genuine irritation. Abruptly, and with vivid recall, Ballard found himself remembering the late afternoon in 1969, when, 9 floors above Park Avenue, upon a carpet of almost unutterable richness, in a room hung with paintings by Winslow Homer and Albert Pinkham Ryder, he had stood with a rich scapegrace and client named Lauritsen Loy, his host, to greet Loy's daughter on her return from another grueling day at Dalton School, then observed the sidelong, graceful, slightly miffed entrance of a 15-year-old girl in pigtails and a Jackson brown sweatshirt 2 sizes too large, met her gray-green eyes, and felt the very shape of his universe alter in some drastic way, either expanding 1,000 times or contracting to a pinpoint. He could not tell. The second their eyes met, the girl blushed violently. She hadn't liked that. Not at all.
"I didn't say it was going to be different, and I don't think it will."
He turned to look at her, making sure to meet her gaze before letting his eye travel down her neck, over her breasts, the bowl of her belly, the slope of her pubis, the length of her legs.
"Are you in a more than ordinarily bad mood?"
"You're snapping at me." Ballard sighed.
"You gave me that look. You said, 'Why should today be different?'"
"Have it your way, old man. But as a victory, it's fucking pathetic. It's hollow." She rolled onto her back and gave her body a firm little shake that settled it more securely onto the steel surface of the table. The metal, only slightly cooler than her skin, felt good against it. In this climate, nothing not on ice or in a freezer, not even a corpse, could ever truly get cold.
"Most victories are hollow, believe me."
Ballard wandered over to the brass-bound porthole on the deck side of their elaborate, many-roomed suite. Whatever he saw caused him momentarily to stiffen and take an involuntary step backward.
"What's the view like?" "The so-called view consists of the filthy Amazon and a boring, muddy bank. Sometimes the bank is so far away it's out of sight."
He did not add that a Ballard approximately 20 years younger, the Ballard of, say, 1976, dressed in a handsome dark suit and brilliantly white shirt, was leaning against the deck rail, unaware of being under the eye of his 20 years older self. Young Ballard, older Ballard observed, did an excellent job of concealing his dire internal condition beneath a mask of deep, already well-weathered urbanity. The same performance, enacted day after day before an audience unaware of being an audience, and never permitted backstage. Unlike Sandrine, Ballard had never married. Poor Ballard, stuck on the endless night with a horrible view and only his aging, moody girlfriend for company. Smiling, he returned to the long steel table, ran his mutilated right hand over the curve of her belly, and cupped her navel. "This is exactly what I asked for. You're wonderful. But isn't it funny to think everything could have been completely different?" Ballard slid the remaining fingers of his hand down to palpate, lightly, the springy, black shrub-like curls of her pubic bush. "Everything is completely different right now." "So take off your clothes and fuck me," Sandrine said. "I can get you hard again in a minute, in 30 seconds. "I'm sure you could. But maybe you should put some clothes on so we could go into lunch." "You prefer to have sex in our bed?" "I do, yes. I don't understand why you wanted to get naked and lie down on this thing anyhow. Now, I mean." "It isn't cold, if that's what you're afraid of." She wriggled her torso and did a snow angel movement with her legs. "Maybe this time we could catch the waiters." "Because we'd be early?" Ballard nodded. "Indulge me. Put on that sleeveless white French thing." "Aye, aye, mon capitaine." She sat up and scooted down the length of the table, pushing herself along the raised vertical edges. These were of dark green marble, about 1 inch thick and 4 inches high. On both sides, round metal drains abutted the inner side of the marble. At the end of the table, Sandrine swung her legs down and straightened her arms, like a girl sitting on the end of a diving board. "I know why, too." "Why I want you to wear that white thing? I love the way it looks on you." "Why you don't want to have sex on this table?" "It's too narrow." "You're thinking about what this table is for, right? And you don't want to combine sex with that. Only I think that's exactly why we should have sex here." "Everything we do, remember, is done by mutual consent. Our golden rule." "Golden spoil sport," she said. "Golden shower of shit." "See? Everything's different already." Sandrine levered herself off the edge of the table and faced him like a strict schoolmistress who happened momentarily to be naked. "I'm all you've got, and sometimes even I don't understand you." "That makes 2 of us." She wheeled around and padded into the bedroom, displaying her plush little bottom and sacral dimples with an absolute confidence Ballard could not but admire. Although Sandrine and Ballard burst, in utter defiance of a direct order, into the dining room a full 9 minutes ahead of schedule, the unseen minions had already done their work and disappeared. On the gleaming rosewood table 2 formal place settings had been laid, the plates topped with elaborately chased silver covers. Fresh irises, brushed blue and yellow, filled a tall, sparkling crystal vase. "I swear they must have a greenhouse on this yacht," Ballard said. "Naked men with muddy hair row the flowers out in the middle of the night." "I don't even think irises grow in the Amazon basin." "Little guys who speak bird language can probably grow anything they like." "That's only one tribe, the Pirahans. And all those bird sounds are actual words. It's a human language." Ballard walked round the table and took the seat he had claimed as his. He lifted the intricate silver cover. "Now, what is that?" He looked across at Sandrine, who was prodding the contents of her bowl with a fork. "Looks like a cut-up sausage. At least I hope it's a sausage. And something like broccoli. And a lot of orangey, yellowy goo." She raised her fork and licked the tines. Tastes pretty good, actually, but—" For a moment she appeared to be lost in time's great forest. "I know this doesn't make sense, but if we ever did this before, exactly this,
with you sitting over there and me.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?